Hey friends, one of the most common questions I get asked is how long do wigs last? That's a tricky question to answer, but I'm going to attempt to do it in this video. Let's talk about all different types of wigs, human hair, synthetic, heat-friendly synthetic, the general wisdom of how long they last, my thoughts on how long they last, and all the variables that make this question impossible to answer definitively. And I'd love to hear your thoughts as well in the comments. So if you'd like to talk about this with me today, then stick around. My name is Denise. I'm also known as Hey Wig Sister on Instagram and Facebook. I suffer from hair loss and I talk a lot about hair loss and wigs. I do talk about other things as well, but that's my main focus. In this video, I consider this more of a wig chat because we're going to chat about this topic of how long do wigs last. It isn't a black and white issue at all, which is why it's so hard to answer the question. But there is some general wisdom, and I believe there are some things that you can do to help your wigs to last longer if that's your goal. So let's start with the factors that I believe make this question hard to answer. There are many factors that influence the longevity of a wig. So depending on the type of wig, length is probably one of the most significant factors in longevity. Friction on wig hair fibers can be really difficult. So length, whether it's curly or straight, can impact longevity. How you care for your wig will impact longevity. How you wear your wig, how often do you wear your wig? Do you wear it 10 hours a day, 7 days a week? Do you wear it a couple of hours a day, 4 days a week? That is going to impact longevity. What products you use, how often you style it, how you store your wig. There are so many factors. So when somebody reaches out to me and asks me, how long does a synthetic wig last? I cannot possibly begin to answer that question. There are just too many factors. There's general guidance, I would say, but to just give a definitive answer on how long a wig will last is impossible to do. I do think that there are some things that we can do to help increase the longevity of our last thing I want to say on this topic of factors, personal preference and expectations is a very significant piece of the puzzle. I know women who have worn a synthetic wig for over a year, almost daily, and they feel that that wig still has life in it. And I know other women who will wear a synthetic wig for 2 weeks and think that it's already trash. Again, all the factors I've mentioned influence that and impact that, but expectations also impact that. If I can do anything, I try to help you set reasonable and realistic expectations when it comes to wig wearing. Synthetic wigs are going to behave very differently than a human hair wig. They're going to feel very differently after 5 wears than a human hair wig. And I always say, just because a wig feels bad doesn't mean that it looks bad. So setting some realistic expectations that align with the type of wig you're going to wear will also help a lot on this journey. So let's talk about types of fibers and the general wisdom around longevity when it comes to different types of fibers. So I'm going to start with heat-friendly synthetic wigs because that's what I have on my head right now. So the wig I'm wearing is 𝘪𝑚 Trend in the color 33/130R4, meaning it has a root. So this is a heat-friendly synthetic wig. It's one of my favorites. I do have a review on YouTube. I'll link any reviews of the pieces I show below in case you want to go check them out more. And I always say where you can purchase a wig in the description of my reviews. So all the information that you'll need should be right there when you click on the link. Heat-friendly fibers are the type of fiber that have the least amount of longevity of all the types of wig fibers on the market. Your mileage will vary depending on the piece that you buy and all of the other factors I mentioned. But in general, heat-friendly wigs are known to last anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 months with daily wear, as long as you care for them well. Now, caveat, length matters probably the most of any fiber. Length matters more with heat-friendly fibers. If your heat-friendly wig is not going to rub up on your clothing like this piece right here, you're going to get a lot longer wear out of it than if you have a heat-friendly piece. Let me find it here. That rubs up on your clothing. So this is also a 𝘪𝘓 piece. It just so happens I really love 𝘪𝘓 wigs. And this is California Beach Waves. It is super, super long. These ends need so much help. They are frayed. They are frizzy. Now, when you heat-friendly wigs need heat regularly. The length of the wig really dictates how regularly you need to take heat to your piece. The problem with a piece like this, just took her out of the box, she hasn't even been like rearranged, is you can just see it. It's really frizzy down here because it's constantly rubbing up on my clothing. If this were a straight piece, I would have already taken heat to it because straight heat-friendly wigs are really easy to care for with a hot airbrush. I just recently did a video showing how to care for a shorter heat-friendly piece with my Straight Up with a Twist by Raquel Welch. I'll link that video below. Because this is straight, also because it doesn't rub up on my clothing, but because this is straight, just running a hot airbrush through it will smooth out those ends. But if I did that to this one, I would straighten these ends. So I just want to caution you, and it's not just this brand, every brand of heat-friendly fibers. If the piece is long and wavy or curly and you're new to wig wearing, I do not recommend you start there. I am not even great at caring for those pieces without altering the curl pattern. I really love shorter heat-friendly pieces a lot because they will last a long time. This wig is over 2 years old. I wear her, one of the wigs I wear the most out of every wig I own is this one, and she's doing great because of the length. So heat-friendly fibers aren't gonna give you a long life if they're long in general, but short, I wouldn't shy away from them. Moving along, the wig I just threw on is Angela by Renee of Paris from their Alexandra Couture collection in the color Plumberry Jam LR. This is a regular synthetic wig, and right away you can see that it's long. I have worn this piece, I think probably one more time than I wore this. This one feels as good as the day I got it. So one of the benefits of regular synthetic, they are not as sensitive to friction as heat-friendly synthetic. They're not going to last as long as human hair. The general wisdom is, well, now the internet says 4 to 6 months. When I first started wearing wigs, it was 3 to 4 months. Again, length is going to matter greatly here. You are going to get a much longer life out of a shorter piece. But if you're not going to be buying human hair and you love long wigs, especially if you like curly and wavy pieces, I would urge you to consider getting a regular synthetic if you are a new wig wearer. They're going to be a little bit easier to care for than the heat-friendly, especially in a curly or wavy piece. All right, let's move on to human hair. The wig I am wearing is a Milano human hair wig. This is one of their Divine pieces, and I have a video on YouTube talking about it. I'll make sure that's linked below. In general, human hair wigs are known to have a life of anywhere of 1 to 3 years. That is a huge time span. But again, all the variables that I mentioned earlier have a dramatic impact on the life of a wig. And human hair wigs especially are impacted by those variables because generally they last at least a year. And one of the things that fail first on a wig is the lace front. So when I talk about a lace front, this is what I mean right here, this lace material on the wig. This is very delicate. It can fray, tear, and stretch out really easily, especially if you are not careful with it. And usually on a high quality human hair wig, the thing that's gonna fail first is that lace front. So if you have a piece that is heading into the 2nd year or even coming up on their 3rd year, that lace has gone through an awful lot over that time. And so it actually may start to tear or fray long before the hair gets to the place where you think you need to replace that. Now, lace on a human hair wig can be replaced. If you've lost hair on the wig, it can be fixed. I have blog posts where I talk about retailers and stylists who customize wigs. Some of those stylists can fix your lace front. So if you spend a lot of money on your human hair wig and your lace tears, don't think that wig is garbage. Please don't do that. You can get that fixed for much cheaper than replacing that wig would cost you. Now, to get the maximum amount of life out of your human hair wig, you really do have to care for it. I think human hair wigs require more maintenance and care than synthetic wigs do. First of all, the hair on a wig is not being moisturized from the oils on your scalp. So you really do need to make sure that you're adding moisture back to that wig regularly to keep it healthy. Washing it with a high quality sulfate and paraben-free shampoo, salon quality, as high quality as you can afford, is going to go a long way in taking care of the hair on that wig and keeping its life as long as possible. Adding in leave-in conditioner and hair oil regularly. In this video, I'm not going to go over my favorite products for that. I'll make a video sharing with you what I use to care for my human hair wigs. But the bottom line is these are not maintenance free. You absolutely want to make sure you're caring for the wigs, taking care of the lace, being gentle with it to get the life out of it that is possible. In addition, the amount of processing that a human hair wig has gone through will impact its longevity. What do I mean by processing? Well, first of all, coloring. The lighter the piece, the more highlights the piece has, or red hair, like this human hair piece, will have, in general, a shorter life than a darker piece. Not always, and it really does depend on how you care for it and the quality of the hair, but most wig hair is dark brown. The majority of the donor hair or hair that is sold is dark brown. It's very rare to find blonde donor hair or red donor hair. So in order to get a dark brown piece to those colors, they have to be highly processed, oftentimes lightened, completely stripped of color all the way to a 613, and then darkened again. That is going to impact the life of that wig. In addition, perming a piece. If you want curly hair and you don't want synthetic, then your option is to either find donor curly hair, which I've actually reviewed. I should have grabbed one of those wigs. Her name is 𝘠𝘦. I will make sure my 𝘠𝘦 review is linked below. If you want curly human hair, that is naturally curly human hair. That's rare. Another option is to get permed hair. This is a headband wig from Milano. I love this wig so much. It's been permed and it's been lightened, so this hair feels drier, but it's also 3 years old, feels drier than the hair on this piece because it's been more highly processed. So you'll want to make sure you add oil and conditioner to it regularly to maintain the moisture in that hair. But overall, human hair wigs will last longer than synthetic. Whether they last on the 1 year end or the 3 year end will really depend on a lot of the factors we just discussed and your care of that hair. All right, let me give you a few tips on how to increase the longevity of all wigs, whether they're human hair or synthetic. The shorter the piece, the longer the life of that wig, because the friction on all of it is hard on these pieces. Tip number 2, wear bangs. Bangs can help with so many things. First of all, I mentioned on human hair wigs, one of the first things to fail is the lace front. That can happen on synthetic wigs as well. Throw some bangs on. Let's just say you have a lace front that's fraying and you can't afford to get it fixed or replace the wig. Cut some bangs in the wig. Expenses on a synthetic piece are the hand-tied features. This piece is super expensive because of the lace front and the monofilament on top. But if you can get to the point where you can wear bangs, you can buy a wig that doesn't have a lace front and save some money on that piece. So bangs are one solution to increasing the longevity of your pieces and saving money overall. Tip number 3, wash your wigs as infrequently as you can. That will go a long way toward increasing the longevity of the piece. Another tip, get 2 pieces and rotate them. You would be amazed by what giving a wig a break can do, and you may get the long end of longevity out of the piece, or even longer. And so having two pieces and alternating them can be a way to increase the life of both of them. These last few tips are for human hair only. Those were tips for all types, but for human hair, I would say the first tip is to wear darker colors. Those are going to have gone through much less in the way of processing. That will really help increase the longevity of the piece. I know that's not going to be possible for everyone, but if you are flexible on color, darker colors are going to be a little bit healthier than the lighter colors in general, not always, but in general. In addition, don't style your piece frequently. And finally, stay out of the sun with your human hair wig. If you do not wear synthetic, I strongly encourage you to find a synthetic that you can wear to places like the beach, the park. You're going to be outside all day at a family reunion, a barbecue, hiking. The sun is really hard on human hair. It oxidizes the color that's in it. It can fade, it can dry out the hair. So do your best to try to do something with other options if you're going to be spending a lot of time outside. I actually have a review of a headband wig from Amazon that is incredible, super, super amazing. I will link it. Check that out if you've never checked out a synthetic before. All right, you guys, you want a little bonus? I can tell you my preferences if that will help you at all. I love shorter, heat-friendly synthetic wigs. I find I gravitate toward them a lot. I love chin length and above. This is one of my all-time favorites. Ignite is one of my all-time favorites. Straight up with a twist. Oh my gosh, I cannot even begin to tell you how much I love straight up with a twist. I have this in multiple colors. I just find them so easy to wear, shake and go, throw and go. And so I do find myself gravitating toward shorter, heat-friendly pieces. I also love curly hair. And so I have a number of permed pieces. I don't have them here because I didn't plan to do this bonus, but I love curly hair. So I do have a number of permed human hair wigs. If I'm not in the mood for a synthetic or I don't want to wear a short piece, I will often gravitate toward my longer human hair curly pieces. But I also love other pieces as well. So when I'm in the mood for long hair, maybe it's like date night and I just want long, sexy hair, or I just am in the mood for long hair, I will go for a human hair wig. I do not personally prefer, this one needs to be curled again too, I do not personally prefer long synthetics. I find them really itchy. I don't like the synthetic fibers on my neck, so I don't gravitate toward them very often. This is a human hair piece by May Wigs. I've reviewed it, so you'll be able to find that below. In addition, hat wigs are my absolute favorite. I love wearing hats and I love wearing hat wigs with them. Absolutely love it. And my preference, human hair. I can't do long synthetic on my neck. I just really can't take it. But human hair hat wigs, probably one of my #1 wigs. So heat-friendly synthetic, human hair, I really love them both for different reasons, and I wear them for different things. I really, really, really cannot stress enough that your personal preference will hinge on more than just longevity. What type of style you like to wear will really help dictate what type of piece is going to be best for you in the long run. Some of that will be trial and error, but if you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help. This has come to me after 5 years of wig wearing, trying lots of different things, experimentation, and that's how I've landed on what I love today. But next year, I might have some different thoughts. We evolve, we change, and our tastes do change on this. So whatever you're thinking today may not be the same a year from now. I hope this helped. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys in my next video.
Hey friends, thanks so much for watching. Here are a few videos I think you might enjoy. Go ahead and click on one and watch.